I never thought of myself as paranoid. I'm the kind of person who double checks the locks before bed, but only because I was raised that way. I'm not jumpy. I don't scare easily. My friends used to make fun of me for walking home alone at night without headphones, just listening to the world. I'd laugh at them and tell them I just like it quiet. But the truth is, I notice things. Always have. And that's probably why this started. It began small. Always does, right? I'd be walking home from work. I close late at a coffee shop, so it's usually dark. And I'd get this feeling, not fear exactly, just that slight prickle at the back of your neck when you're being watched. I'd glance around, nobody there. A couple cars parked on the street, a dog barking a few blocks down. Pretty normal. The first time I really noticed him, he wasn't even close, just a guy standing under a streetlight, maybe half a block away from me. Nothing strange about that, except he wasn't doing anything, not walking, not looking at his phone, just standing there. I remember thinking, he might be waiting for a rideshare or something. I turned the corner, out of sight, but when I glanced back, just a quick look over my shoulder, he was there again, same distance behind me, not running, not rushing, just there. My stomach went cold. I told myself it was a coincidence. People walk the same direction all the time. Maybe he lived near me, but over the next week, I saw him again, always a block or so behind, sometimes across the street, sometimes standing by a bus stop, though I never once saw him get on a bus. And the worst part, I could never describe him. Not really. If someone asked, I'd say tall, dark clothes, maybe a hoodie, but that was it. Every time I looked at him, it was like my brain slipped off the details, like he existed only in the corner of my vision. It got under my skin. I'd lie in bed at night, thinking about it, replaying the walks in my head. Had I really seen this guy, or was it just different people, and I was connecting dots that wasn't there? I tried to shake it off, paranoia, I told myself. City life. But one night, closing the shop, I caught a reflection in the glass as I looked up. Across the street, under a flickering light, someone was standing, facing me, completely still. My hands went numb around the keys. I wanted to tell myself it wasn't him. It couldn't be. But the way my chest tightened said otherwise. I didn't look again. I just walked fast, kept my head down, tried not to hear the echo of footsteps that may or may not have been mine. I stopped taking my usual route home. I'd circle blocks, double back, duck into convenience stores I didn't need anything from. Every time, I'd check over my shoulder. And every time, he was there. Not close, never close, but watching. The kind of watching you can feel in your teeth. A friend noticed something was off. "You look tired," she said one morning at work. I laughed it off. I told her I wasn't sleeping, which wasn't a lie. She pressed, asked if I was okay, and I almost told her, almost, but the words caught in my throat, because what would I even say? There's a man I can't describe following me, but only when nobody else is around? It sounded insane even in my own head. One night I stayed up the shop longer than usual, just delaying. It was stupid. I knew he wasn't waiting for me, specifically. Couldn't be. But when I finally stepped outside, the street was empty. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel him. I didn't see him. Relief hit so hard, I almost cried. I walked slow, savoring it. The air felt clean. The night seemed ordinary again. And then I turned the corner. He was there. Not a block away this time. Not across the street, but leaning against the lamppost at the end of my block, waiting. I completely froze. My legs refused to move. It's the first real look I'd ever seen of him. And I swear even now I couldn't tell you his face. It was like my brain refused to hold the details. But I felt something. Recognition. Almost like I'd seen him before. Years ago in a dream or half a forgotten nightmare. And that scared me more than anything else. I ran. Not dignified. Not careful. Just flat out. Sprinted down a side street. Cutting through alleys. Ducking behind dumpsters. When I finally stumbled home, my heart was slamming. I locked every bolt and collapsed against the door. I didn't even look out the window. I couldn't. That was the night I stopped leaving after dark. I told my boss I couldn't close anymore. I made excuses to my friends. I rearranged my whole life just to avoid being outside at night. And it worked for a while. Until it didn't. Because then I started seeing him during the day. At the grocery store, on the train, across the street while I waited for coffee. Always just far enough that I couldn't be sure. Always just barely visible. I'd blink and he'd be gone. My friends stopped asking how I was. I think they got tired of the dark circles under my eyes. The way I jumped at shadows. I didn't blame them. I didn't even like being around myself anymore. Because I knew he was getting closer. I started hearing things at night. Floorboards creaking. Doors clicking shut. My own breath echoing too loud in my own room. Sometimes I'd wake up certain there was someone standing in the corner watching me. But when I turned on the light, nothing. Not rattling, not forced, unlocking. I sat up, frozen, listening to the slow creak as it opened. And in the darkness, silhouetted by the faint glow from the streetlight outside, I swear I saw him. Tall, still, watching. I don't remember falling asleep. I don't remember him leaving. But in the morning the door was shut, locked. I checked every inch of the apartment. Nothing was disturbed, and nothing was missing. I told myself it had to be a dream. But now, even in daylight, I feel him, in the mirror behind me, in the space just outside the frame of my vision, in the silence when the world goes still. I don't know if he's real. I don't know if I'm losing my mind. But if you're listening to this, and one night you feel someone watching you from the corner of your eye, don't look, because once you do, you'll never stop seeing him.